What's up, guys? Welcome into another episode of the Michigan Recruiting Report, and the Wolverines have done it. Michigan has landed its biggest commit of the cycle. Before we dive into that, make sure to like this video, subscribe to our YouTube channel for free, get notifications every time we drop new videos so you don't miss breaking news like this. Also, subscribe to the Wolverine.com. Use the promo code UM1. That's $1 for 2 months over at thewolverine.com. If you want the inside scoop on everything happening, we had it all over at thewolverine.com. Don't miss out for even more Michigan recruiting coverage. The team football season's about to start up here. Basketball transfer portal and so much more. Plus, we have a great message board community with thousands and thousands of users. So make sure to use that promo code UM1. That's $1 for 2 months over at thewolverine.com. All right, guys. So like I said, Michigan landed its biggest fish of the cycle, and that is five-star running back Savion out of Virginia. Savion has been Michigan's top overall target throughout the recruiting cycle, much like Bryce Underwood last cycle, even though Bryce was kind of later on in the process, whereas Hyder has been pretty much throughout the entire year. I think that Savion is of that magnitude, on the same level of landing a Bryce Underwood, especially at a program like Michigan, which runs the ball. And despite the fact that they added offensive coordinator Chip Lindsey, who's set to bring more balance to Ann Arbor, as well as Underwood, who, you landed the number one player in the country, you're going to throw the ball a little bit more. I still think Michigan is going to have that commitment to the run game. This offense is still going to be centered around having talented players at the running back position. And Savion is exactly that, the number one running back in the country, the number 8 overall recruit nationally. I even think he has an argument as the top overall recruit in the country this cycle. And I think Michigan valued him as much. The Wolverines did everything right in this recruitment, and he had a Final Four of Michigan, Georgia, Ohio State, and Tennessee, but really came down to Michigan and Tennessee late. I think that Michigan just checked every box for him. We talked about the offense. He knows Michigan has a history of featuring the running back position, of having some great running backs come out recently, guys like Blake Corum and Donovan Edwards and Hassan Haskins, especially Blake coming out of Virginia as well. I know he graduated from St. Francis in Maryland, but Blake Corum's actually from a part of Virginia that's not too far away from Savion. So that's definitely something that caught his attention, was just, again, the running back production, but also relationships mattered a whole lot to Savion. I think everybody made a lot about the NIL number that was thrown out. And, I don't even know how accurate that was. But I feel like Savion, look, he's a 5-star prospect. The business side is going to be a factor, but I think that both Michigan and Tennessee were willing to do whatever it took to land Savion. I think that a big difference for him was just the relationship he had with Tony Alfred. I said this when Tony Alfred got hired at Michigan. He is going to be a big upgrade over Mike Hart. He is an aggressive recruiter. He's a pro's pro. He builds genuine relationships. And it was true. I got a bunch of hate because it's Mike Hart and whatever. But at the end of the day, Tony Alfred was and has been that upgrade and that spark on the recruiting trail. And it shows with the commitment of Savion. This isn't the first number one running back he's landed. He also landed Travion Henderson at Ohio State. So I think that Alfred is showing his recruiting chops, and he deserves a lot of credit for winning over Hyder and building that relationship with him. Mike Hart didn't even offer Savion Hyder during his time here. When Tony Alfred arrived, he immediately put an offer on the table. He had already been recruiting him at Ohio State. So that relationship had been going on for years. And I think Alfred also did a great job of building a relationship with Hyder's family, his recruiting advisor, Adam McCann. So Alfred deserves a lot of credit. The offense deserves a lot of credit. Like I said, the business side took care of itself. General manager Sean McGee did a great job from that aspect. And I think Hyder just felt at home. He's a small town kid. He's way out kind of in the the middle of nowhere, Virginia. And I think just being in Ann Arbor, being around the people, being around Alfred, being around head coach Sharon Moore, being around some of the players like Bryce Underwood and fellow Virginia native Shamari Earls, I think he just felt like Michigan was the right spot. Now, Tennessee did a great job of recruiting him as well. They made this a very, very tight battle. But at the end of the day, I think, again, Michigan just checked all the boxes for Savion. He's a perfect fit on the field. He's a perfect fit off the field. And honestly, what you're watching here is more so his sophomore film when he was at Woodbury Forest. He transferred back to Louisa County as a junior last year, was extremely productive. He has verified track times from his freshman year that are really impressive. And I think he's the complete package. I think Savion Hyder is the complete package on the field, man. He can do it all. He has that blend of speed. Like I said, he has the verified track times from his underclassmen days, and you can see the breakaway speed and the explosiveness pop up on film. But I also think that he brings the power between the tackles. He's a guy who can pick up the tough yards and be a bell cow. He's extremely physical. He's built really well. He's about 5'11" and a half, over 200 pounds right now. Just a guy who looks like he lives in the weight room, and his ability to catch the ball as well. He's a very reliable receiver out of the backfield. He can even line up in the slot or on the outside and be a difference maker. And so now you're watching some of his highlights from last year, and you just see that explosiveness through the hole, man. He hits it hard, and he has the ability to not only pick up those tough yards, but to be a home run hitter. And like I said, the ability as a pass catcher, I mean, he's kind of it's tough to compare him to a Michigan running back. I think he possesses some of those between the tackle traits that Blake Corum did, but I also think he can catch the ball similar to Donovan Edwards. And he's also really solid in pass pro too, which you see some young backs or some high school backs sometimes struggle with. He's already advanced there. So I think that Savion checks all the boxes. He'll come in and make an immediate impact at Michigan. I think he'll get significant time as a true freshman, just kind of depending on what that backfield looks like. And I think there's so much you can do with a guy like Savion Hyder. He's a game changer for Michigan. And yeah, man, I mean, just a huge win overall for the Wolverines. There you see that ability as a pass catcher. I'm right there on the sideline watching that. So it was really fun seeing Savion last year. I'm really excited to see what he looks like as a senior, but just a big win for Michigan on the recruiting trail. I think this cements Michigan as a top 10 class this year, and a lot of exciting pieces when you look at Hyder, you look at Rivals 300 wide receiver Travis Johnson, 5-star edge Carter Meadows, top 100 offensive tackle Malachi Lee. There are a lot of really good pieces in this class for Michigan. And you even see Hyder get it done there on that defensive side of the ball, man. He's a throwback player. He also starts at linebacker, comes off the edge, man. It's so fun watching Savion Hyder. If you're a Michigan fan and you haven't seen some of Savion's games or film, I'd highly suggest for you to go watch some more. But that's going to do it for us here. Again, make sure to like the video, subscribe to our YouTube channel for free, get notifications every time we drop new videos. Like I said, subscribe to the Wolverine.com. If you want more on this Savion Hyder recruitment, make sure to use that promo code UM1. That's $1 for 2 months over at the Wolverine.com. And we will see you guys next time Michigan lands a commit.